Hi everyone, this is Sam with Wine News in 5. Today I wanted to let you know of the passing of Michel Rolland, the effect of rising oil prices on the wine industry, Argentina's declining consumption, Germany's changing export market, California's shrinking vineyards, THC drinks in the US, and Oregon's new sparkling wine producer organization. First up, the passing of Michel Rolland. Michel Rolland, arguably the world's most influential wine consultant, died today, March 20th, at 79 years old. While Rolland was born and raised in Bordeaux, his consultancies spanned the globe with clients in Argentina, Armenia, Italy, Spain, South Africa, New Zealand, Uruguay, India, Croatia, and Israel. Our site will publish a short profile on him tomorrow, which I hope you'll read. On to the war in Iran. On February 28th, the United States and Israel launched coordinated airstrikes on Iran, targeting missile infrastructure, military sites, and leadership, and killing Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Iran then launched counterattacks on U.S. and Israeli military bases and energy infrastructure across the Middle East and blocked the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most important oil shipping channels. The continuing escalation has resulted in thousands of deaths and mass destruction, but I'm here to talk about the wine industry. And the thing that most concerns the wine industry outside of the Middle East is energy prices. According to AAA, diesel in the US has gone up 39% in the last month. Regular petrol has gone up by 33%. According to The Guardian, UK gas prices have more than doubled. The rest of the world is similarly affected. Natural gas is a key ingredient in the production of nitrogen fertilizer, and gas and oil are responsible for most of the energy used to convert aluminum sheets to screw caps, to melt down sand and soda ash for wine bottles, to run tractors and forklifts, and to transport closures, bottles, barrels, and finished wines. As energy costs rise, the prices for all of these inputs rise. This week, Pavel Zahariv, sales director for closures firm Hertie UK, told the drinks business that some people are already introducing force majeure clauses, which are provisions excusing businesses from prior obligations in the case of uncontrollable circumstances. In this case, clauses are being introduced because previously negotiated prices and timelines are becoming untenable. Wine shipments between Europe and China have been affected by delays. Australian farmers have been plagued by fuel theft due to rising fuel prices because agribusinesses keep diesel tanks on property to refuel their tractors. Chiadi, the world's largest international broker of bulk wine, and the French publication Vitisphere have both reported ocean carriers implementing war risk surcharges. And finally, nitrogen-based fertilizer costs have gone up by an average of 20%. On to Argentina's declining consumption. Argentina's annual per capita consumption of wine fell to 15.7 liters in 2025, its lowest level in history. This is a drastic decline from the height of consumption in 1970, when Argentinians consumed 90 liters per person per year. Between then and now, 3,276 hectares, which is 8,095 acres of vineyards, have been removed. Adding additional pressure to the industry, exports declined by 6.8% in 2025, reaching their lowest level since 2004. Next, Germany's changing export market. On March 16th, the German Wine Institute, DWI, released their annual export report, showing a 1% growth in volume of wine exports, but a 2% decline in the value of exports. Due to Trump's tariffs, exports to the US, Germany's top market, fell by 11% in volume to 118,000 hectoliters and 19% in value to 51 million euros. Growth in exports to Norway, Sweden, Finland, Poland, and China have very nearly made up for this shortfall, driven by an increasing market demand for white wines. On to California's declining vineyard acreage. On March 13th, California's Department of Food and Agriculture released its preliminary report on the 2025 grape crush. 2025 saw a 6.2% decrease in the volume of grapes processed. 1,316,716 tons of white wine grapes were crushed, down 6% from 2024. 1,306,727 tons of red wine grapes were crushed, down 10.8% from 2024. The average price of all varieties dropped by 3.8% to $978.60 per ton. Chardonnay accounted for the largest volume of grapes processed. Cabernet Sauvignon came second. Of California's main grape varieties, only Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Gris saw their crush levels increase. Next, THC drinks being carried by one of the US's largest wholesalers. On March 19th, Breakthrough Beverage Group, one of the US's largest beverage wholesalers, announced that they would be entering the THC beverage category with Delta 9 hemp-derived THC beverages and edibles. 41 states now allow the sale of Delta 9 beverages and edibles. Most allow these products to be sold anywhere that beer or wine could be sold, including gas stations and convenience stores. In the last 2 years, headlines have declared that consumers are replacing alcohol with THC. Finally, a new sparkling wine producer organization. On March 17th, I received a press release declaring the launch of Method Oregon, which is a nonprofit organization establishing a standard for traditional method sparkling wines in Oregon. The 45 founding producers agreed to use 100% Oregon fruit, traditional method production with secondary fermentation in bottle, and to age their wines for a minimum of 24 months on lees. Starting in 2029, producers will be required to grow or source fruit farmed only with organic approved inputs or from live certified vineyards without synthetic herbicides. Labels will be required to include disgorgement dates and AVA identification. To my knowledge, this is only the second producers association outside of Europe to focus on self-regulating the quality of their sparkling wines. The first, of course, was South Africa's Cap Classique Producers Association, but please do correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about this. That's all for this episode of the Wine News. If you enjoyed this newscast and you'd like to see it continue, please become a member of jancesrobinson.com. And if you have breaking news in your area, please email news@jancesrobinson.com. Thanks.